kitchen, we're at home with food writer and cook Valentine Warner. He's treating us to his breakfast of champions, the ultimate boosting breakfast that Valentine loves to eat before a day's fishing. Tasty smoked haddock custards with soldiers, succulent kidneys with sherry and fried bread, followed by a Bloody Mary.
So I've done my smoked haddock custard with buttered soldiers, and the next in line for my breakfast of champions is kidneys with sherry on fried bread. So I've got some onions here which I've sweated in a lot of butter. They're just beginning to turn colour and be a bit caramelly. And they've got some fresh thyme in them, and those can sit there. These are delicious lamb kidneys. Sadly, they seem to have kind of fallen off the British breakfast table, and they're delicious. It's a shame. They're vital and invigorating and deeply tasty. But first, what you have to do is take off this kind of cling film looking stuff, this membrane from the outside. Cut them in half. Just take a pair of scissors and chop out just this rather kind of tough and unpleasant white bit in the middle. So those ones are done already, and I'm just going to very roughly chop these up. It's a shame that kidneys are kind of disappearing. They're so good, but it's one of those old-fashioned things that people seem to not care for anymore. You're really missing out. My father was a huge kidney fan. He was always splashing kidneys with Cinzano for breakfast. And it was really him. This kind of makes me think of my dad, which is very nice as he's no longer around anymore. Okay, so those are chopped up. I'm going to move the onions into here just for a second while I fry the kidneys. So in the kidneys go. That's what you want to hear. And you really want to take on some nice colour. A little bit of salt. A good grind of black pepper. Really give them a hard hammering, nothing tender or delicate going on here. I love Escoffier's recipes. The Escoffier cookbook is a very important cookbook for me. It's actually one I quite often find myself reading at breakfast time. When I don't know how to make something old, French, or whatever, it's a place I go if I need some kind of help working out something that I want to do. Okay, so those are nice and coloured now. The onions can go back in. Make sure they're really broken up so everything's kind of been introduced to everything else. And then a good splash of sherry vinegar. Stand back. This really kind of, it's almost like chemical warfare, this. Don't want to get vinegar smoke in your eyes. Burn all that away. That'll give a slight kind of edge to the dish. And then a good slug of sherry. Tomato puree, a little blob. It just smells absolutely fantastic. Now, this is my secret ingredient that turns a good thing into a great thing, and this is smoked paprika. 1 spoonful. It's got a faint heat to it, so that's heating up. In fact, I might swap those over now. I'm just going to finish my kidneys with a good slug of double cream. Ooh, that is just naughty. That's bad. That's wrong for so early in the day. So right. Okay, now those can just turn off and sit there. So I've got some sunflower oil on the heat. Got a piece of bread, and I'm going to make fried toast just to make a rich thing even richer. When it comes to breakfast, Dad was really the king of breakfast, and if it wasn't something like kidneys, it would be scrambled eggs, and he'd had these very strict rules about how scrambled eggs should be made. No milk, no cream, just butter and eggs. When you put them on the plate, they have to migrate slightly, but not be too sloppy and not too stiff. My God, he did good breakfasts.
Was scrambled eggs the first thing you cooked?
Scrambled eggs was the first thing I ever cooked, yeah. And then mushrooms on toast. He was always racing through the doors with collapsing shaggy ink caps in his hands and saying, "Get the toast on." And then we'd all sit down to mushrooms on toast. Okay, now, I don't like throwing stuff away. I don't like being fussy, but for this, I am going to cut the crusts off my bread. I just prefer it that way. And those can be gobbled up by the sparrows, the robins, the blackbirds, or whoever outside. Okay, so there goes the bread. They go pretty quickly. I want to get them nice and brown. This is old school stuff, and long may it last. So my fried bread is burning. That must mean it's ready. Onto a bit of paper towel it goes. Just going to put them in a very low temperature oven. In they go. I'm now going to finish my kidneys on toast. So just warm those up. Those are looking very, very tasty indeed. Okay, so save my fried bread. Okay, so put the kidneys on the fried toast in a rich sherry smoked paprika cream sauce. Some parsley at the top. I mean, that's a portion for two.